back, everybody. I am going over the little Supergirl and Batwoman. So we are. So last time I actually said that last week was my first solo Batman video. It actually wasn't. I remember for the Supergirl 100th episode, I did that separately, and I did Batwoman separately. Anyway, so we're back on track. Now the order's a little bit out of whack because throughout the entire Supergirl Batgirl reviews, every episode's been the same. Reviewing episodes 1, 2, 3, etc. But now we've kind of switched because last week was episode 17 of Batwoman. This time we're doing episode 18, and I think for Supergirl this is 17. So we're a little off, but whatever. Season's almost over, we'll catch up. So let's get things started. Talk about little Batwoman first, and then we'll get right into Supergirl. So for this episode of Batwoman, we finally got some Batwoman. You know, with everything that's been going on, we've probably maybe like the last 3 or 4 episodes, we've just seen Kate in the Bat costume, probably for like one scene, and then she's just like Kate came for the rest of the episode. But you know, we actually finally got her. You know, she's finally in the suit today. So you know, she broke up a drug bust or a weapons deal, whatever the hell they were doing, and you know, she was kicking ass and taking names. One of the dudes specifically, like, you know, like she messed up the guy's shoulder. And then, you know, but the person that they were trying to get, you know, like the main person they were trying to get, I believe he got away. So, you know, they busted up the whole weapons and drug thing, but it wasn't like a total victory. So Kate goes back to, you know, Wayne Tower. You know, she's, you know, because her and Luke always debrief when it's over. And then Mary's there. And then Mary is there with like champagne because she's here to celebrate. And she was just like, you know, we did it, guys. And then she was just like, what a victory. And they look at her like, bitch, like, what do you celebrate? Because the thing is, Mary, now that Mary knows the secret, you know, she desperately wants to be a part of the team. You know, like Mary's like, you know, she just, but the problem is, I don't think they would necessarily have an issue with Mary being on the team, but the problem is she's just too overly enthusiastic about everything. And I think that's the problem. That's where Kate's just like, you know, like you fiending a little too much for this, and then you go wind up making a mistake and get yourself killed. You know, and you know, surprisingly enough, like Luke's not, like, I figured both of them would just be talking to Mary like, listen, hell no, you can't join the team. Luke's actually okay with it. You know, like, I guess he just figures, well, now that she knows, we might as well just bring her in the fold, you know, so we can watch her. You know, and plus, like, he does, you know, I feel like he likes her and he's just not saying anything. But, you know, Luke's surprisingly okay with it. It's Kate that's just like, you're not going, Mary. And, you know, like, you're not on the team, Mary. And then she, you know, so, like, so now, you know, they tell Mary, they're just like, look, you're not a part of Team Bat. You know, we'll catch you on the flip side. Good looking out, peace. So Mary dips, and we're back to the main part of this whole thing, which is the search for Lucius Fox's journal. You know, is still on and running. Now that they know that Thomas Elliot was the person responsible for Lucius Fox's death, you know, just for the sake of him getting the journal, I'm surprised Luke hasn't tried to kill him in prison. You know, Kate goes and talks to him, and then she's just like, listen. She was just like, you know, we're gonna pin you for Lucius Fox's murder, and he's just like, well, you can't do that because, you know, I'm in Arkham, which means I'm crazy, and you can't try crazy people, you know. So he leaves and he goes away. You know, he's talking to Alice now, like, well, Alice is in his room, and then she's just like, you know, she's trying to bring him into the fold. She's just like, you know, she's like, I saw you talking to Kate, like, what's so special about this journal everybody wants? And then he was just like, well, it's the journal that, you know, it tells you like all the Wayne Tech secrets. And then she's like, you know, why do I care about that? And he was like, because it'll tell you how to stop Batman and how to stop the Batsuit, you know, because. And then she was like, well, why would I care about that? She was like, because Bruce Wayne is Batman, bitch. And then you know, and the funny thing is, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I'm surprised Alice didn't know. I'm honestly legitimately surprised Alice didn't know Bruce Wayne was Batman, but it was just, I don't know, it's like she knew Kate was Batwoman. It was because the thing is, if Alice didn't know this whole time Bruce Wayne was Batman, where did she think Kate was getting all this shit from? where did Alice think Kate got the suit and got the machines? And like, that's very weird, you know, but whatever. Whatever. So now she's just like, all right, I want this journal now more than ever. Tommy Elliott calls the person who he gave it to, because he gave it to like his bookie or whatever. The guy who he gave it to owns a nightclub. So Tommy calls him and he's just like, yo, bro, I'm coming for the book. I need the book. You know, but you know, Alice was just like, yo, we'll let you, she's like, if you can get me the book, I'll let you out of here. And then he was just like, well, I can't leave because once I leave, they're going to put my face all over wanted posters, and then people are going to start looking for me to try to kill me or take me in. And then Alice was just like, don't you know? She's like, I can make faces. So they cut his actual face off, put it on some random person, and then they hang that person in Tommy Elliott's cell. So now all the cops think Tommy Elliott's dead. They wrap like bandages around his face, and they were just like, they can give him any face that they want. So, and I was wondering, I was like, yo, whose face is? I was like, because I'm like, they can't make faces, because if Alice was actually able to make faces, I would have thought he would want to be Bruce Wayne, but they need a face now to put on Tommy Elliott, and until they find a face, he's forced to wear the bandages around his face. So, so now Alice's whole thing is, she was just like, she was like, yo, call your boy, tell him to bring the book. He called his boy. He was just like, yo, now that he was just like, yo, he was like, if you want the book, come get it. It's not a big deal. It's all gravy. So Luke and Kate, they find out, that he was, I guess they find out that he was, they find out where the bookie is. And they find out that the bookie is the one in possession of the book. So, but they're just like, he works at a nightclub. So they're going to go down to the nightclub to try to break in and find the book. Mary helps out with the dresses and everything. And that's the thing. It's like, Mary wanted to go to the club, and then Kate was just like, you can't go, Mary, because, it's a gangster club and I don't want you to get hurt. But the funny thing is, Mary knows parties. Like, she knows social atmospheres. Like, she was even giving him she gave him the dress. Like she gave Kate the dress, and Mary helps in a specific way. So to say that she's not a part of the team, I thought was weird. Like Kate, at the very least, when she was just like, listen, Mary, like, you're not trained to do this. And then Julia showed up, and then she was just like, well, how come Julia can go? And then she was just like, well, Julia's actually trained for this. That's why Julia's going. But Kate at that point should have just said to Mary, you are helping. You gave me the clothes, and you told me what to say when I get in the club. So it's like Kate just kind of like wrote her off, like, you just know the secret, but you ain't a part of it. But Mary does help. It's like every time Kate's bleeding, she goes and sees Mary. So Mary's helping with her doctor skills. She's helping with her socialite skills. But that never got acknowledged, which was unfortunate. So Kate and Julia, they go to the club. Julia starts talking to Kate about Sophie. Kate getting a little mad. They get inside the club, and then Kate sees the girl who she was dating, the bartender girl who she dated in the beginning of the season. Can't remember the girl's name on the top of my head, but the two of them were together, and then they broke up because Kate broke up with her, because that's when Luke was just like, yo, Batwoman can't have a social life. That's why Kate cut her loose. So the two of them were talking, like, she was just like, hey, how you doing? Like, they had a nice conversation. She said that she was like, I miss you. She's like, I shouldn't have left. And then Kate was like, I shouldn't have let you go. And then Luke was just like, bitch, can you get back to the mission at hand? And then Kate dipped and like walked away. So Luke made all the lights in the building go out. Kate put on the Batwoman costume. She goes into the dude's room where the book is. She tries to take the book. She gets electric shocked. Julia gets rolled up on by security in the hallway. Now Julia's tied up in one place. Batwoman's tied up in the other, and they both getting their ass beat. So now Luke and Mary, they get into an argument because Luke was just like, Luke was very, Luke was 100% against Mary even knowing the secret. And when Kate gets in trouble, Mary's the first person Mary's the first person that Luke calls to be on comms and I'm like, Mary doesn't know how to operate none of this shit. I'm just like, Luke surprised me of how open and welcoming he was to Mary, like, doing things and being a part of the team. But then Mary was just like, listen, she was just like, she was like, it's better if you're on comms than if I go in, because she was just like, I can blend in. I can actually get to that point. She was like, you can't do it. And I was like, why? Because he's black. But, so Luke decided to have faith in her. Mary goes in all dressed up. She gets into the party, and then she gets into the secret room where the dude who had the book, he's not only now auctioning, because then Thomas Elliott called him back, and then then the dude told him, he was like, look, Tom, he was just like, you didn't tell me that Batwoman would be after this book as well. So he was like, if Batwoman wants the book, then this thing is more valuable than you let me know. So he was just like, I don't need you, bitch. And he clicked, he hung up on him. And then, and then he was like, oh, he betrayed me. And Alice was like, of course he betrayed you. That's why I had plan B. So, and I said in the last episode when they showed a picture of Magpie, I was like, watch she be a part of something. So Alice lets Magpie out of her cage. And through all the commotion and all the chaos, because like I said, Mary got in. She ended up, because Mary brought money to pay for Batwoman, because like I said, because the dude was auctioning off the dude was auctioning off the book. He was auctioning off Batwoman's costume, all her gadgets. Like he was selling like all her shit. So Mary came in, she tried to buy some stuff. The briefcase that she had exploded, which gave her an opportunity, to free Batwoman. So now Mary's in there, Batwoman's in there, Julie ends up getting free. All of them are fighting. They're trying to make their way out. While they're doing all the commotion, Magpie sneaks into the building and she steals the book. Kate goes up to the roof. She fights Magpie. Magpie was smart. Magpie was like, look. She was like, I ain't finna be up here wrestling with Batwoman and whatever. So she took the book. She threw that shit off the roof. Batwoman jumped off the roof. Magpie dipped. So, Team Bat has the book now. Kate apologized to Mary. She was like, you actually are worth something other than just medical backup, and then she's just like, all right, so we'll like let you into the fold. Kate's ex-girlfriend the bartender girl comes up to her, and then she was just like, this whole commotion and everything. She was just like, she was like, because she was just like, the last time you and I were at a club or a bar together, and all hell broke loose, Batwoman was there too, and she was just like, oh, it happens again. It's a coincidence. And then, then Kate kind of was like, all right, she did like a little truth lie. And she was just like, well, yeah, she was like, because the truth is the reason why I came was because your boss had something that belonged to me. And I asked Batwoman to get it back for me. That's why this whole thing happened. So the two of them ended up, just having a conversation, like rekindling, reconnecting. They go back to Kate's house and end up getting it on. When Kate woke up the next day, the girl was gone. And then the book was also gone. So then we see the girl, she got the book, and then she goes to the park to give the book to, give the book to someone, and the person she gives the book to is Magpie. So Kate's ex-girlfriend from like episode 4, that she was in a relationship with for like 2 episodes, who left her and then came back. This girl actually has significant importance because she's the sister of Magpie. So so she gave her the book, and then she told Magpie, she was just like, me doing you this favor cost me a good relationship. And she was like, yeah, but you're sister, so we're sisters, so what are you gonna do? You're supposed to look out for me. So that's gonna be interesting. Like I didn't see that one coming. That was actually pretty cool. So then Magpie goes back to Arkham, gives the book to Alice. Alice is looking at the book. She gives it to Mouse. Mouse is like, yo, I can't read it because Lucius Fox wrote the entire thing in secret code. So my guess is because Lucius Fox wrote it in secret code, they're gonna roll up on Luke next episode to try to get Luke to read the book to them. So that was pretty much it for that saga. Sophie and Julia, like they're still flirting with each other, and then while they were having a conversation about what to have for dinner, Julia got a phone call, and the person she was talking to on the phone, she was just like, don't worry, I'll get the book for you as soon as possible. So now there's 2 people, Beth, Alice, Magpie, now Julie, like everybody trying to get this book. And I would not be surprised if the person who Julie is talking to is actually Lucius Fox, and he's not really dead, and he faked his own death. Because the thing is, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, Julie is about to betray. I'm like, come on, like she's Alfred, like Alfred's her godfather. She knew Bruce. She knew like she's not going to betray them. She's on the phone. She's either on the phone with Bruce or she on the phone with Alfred. I mean, not Alfred. She's either on the phone with Bruce, she on the phone with Alfred, or she's actually talking to Lucius Fox, who isn't dead. So that's my prediction on that. So that was pretty much it. Like I said, that was a good episode. And then Luke brought Mary into the Batcave, and then in like typical Mary fashion, as soon as Mary goes into the Batcave, she takes out her cell phone, and then Luke was like, "Don't you dare!" He was just like, "Woman, this is the biggest secret you are ever going to keep in your entire life." Because when Bruce first brought me down here, and she was like, "Bruce Wayne is Batman," Luke was like, "Damn it!" Like Luke just out here spilling the beans. But so Mary knows everything now. So that was I thought that was funny. That was funny. It's a damn shame we only got Sophie for like 13 seconds, but like I said, no, it's a good episode of Batwoman. Like they're moving this whole thing along, like the story's getting interesting, and then come to find out, I don't think Thomas Elliot ever gets a face, because in the next episode he becomes Hush. So so that's gonna be cool too. Finally, like an actual Batman villain. Well, Magpie was a real Batman villain too. So that's it. The show is it's a damn shame, because it's like, now that I'm really like invested into it, the show's about to end. But yeah, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it ends, and hopefully it ends on a good note. So in Supergirl, I'm just gonna flat out say Lex Luthor is the man. It starts out with Lex waking up right after the New World was created in Crisis, and everything that's happened since then, it shows like his involvement in everything that's happened, which is literally everything. They show you him trying to get used to like realizing like, wow, like there's a new world, like I'm a good guy here, like everybody loves me. He goes to Lena's house and he's just like, the Monitor kept his promise, because when Lex made a deal with the Monitor, he told the Monitor, he was just like, what you can do for me, he was like, I'll help you, but in return, he was like, when the new world is formed or whatever, he was like, shield Lena from the situation. He wanted Lena's memories of the old world to stay intact, which is why she remembers everything. So the two of them are having a conversation. He's just like, hey, we're the only two people that remember. The world loves the Luthors. We need to click up and, handle some business, because Lex always hated the fact that Lena and Kara were friends. So he was always trying to break that whole situation up. Lena kind of resisted a little bit, and then she told him, she was just like, I'm not going to sit here and help you take over like this brand new world. And then especially because she was just like, your obsession with the Kryptonians, which is, like it's driving you mad, which is why Eve Tessmacher on the old world, she infiltrated your entire situation, because Lena mentioned Leviathan, and then Lex was like, what the hell is Leviathan? And then she told him, she was like, it's a secret organization that's been, throughout, that's been here throughout history. And she's just like, Eve works for them, and she was on the old world, she was playing you the whole time. So now he's kind of tight because, I guess like he always had a thing for Tessmacher, and I mean, they had Mercy Graves, but we can't, like Eve Tessmacher is basically his Mercy Graves, because, they had Mercy in last season. She came in for a few episodes, but because they're using Mercy on Titans now, that's probably why they pulled her from Supergirl. So Eve Tessmacher is basically the new Mercy Graves. So now he's, so Lena's basically giving him the riot act. She's just like, yeah, like, Tessmacher, she was working for them. She infiltrated the whole situation. And she was just like, she was like, because you were so obsessed with killing Superman, she was just like, you couldn't see the real snake right in front of your face. So now he's a little mad, but he's still telling Lena, he was just like, yo, that's more of a reason why we should click up and try to take down these Leviathan sons of bitches. Because Lex's, because Lex's whole problem is, he's just jealous of like Lex is one of those like me, I want it all type of people. Like he doesn't want his sister to be friends with Superman or Supergirl. Like he hates the supers because they have power and he doesn't. So he's just driven by that. He's just driven by the fact that he can't stand the thought of someone being better than him. He goes and talks to his mom, and then he tells his mom the whole situation about the Earth, and then she's just like, all right, cool. And then he was just like, yeah, so now that you know everything, you know the situation, let's click up and kill the supers. And then she was like, why? She was just like, the supers and the Luthors are friends on this Earth. She said, we all work together. They're not a threat to us. We can do whatever we want, and we won't have them looking over our shoulder. But she was just like, but he was like, but Kara Danvers knows, and because she knows how the old world was, she'll always be a thorn in our side, and like she's always gonna be there, to keep my sister away from me. And then his mom was just like, yo, bro, let that shit go. She was like, yo, let it go. But she was like, yo, we can kill Leviathan, we can take over it. But she was just like, your obsession with the supers, and is gonna ruin everything. And then she was just like, yo, can you keep this thing in check for the greater good? And he was just like, yeah, which was a lie. So she was just like, first order of business, go get your sister back. So he talks to Lena again, and he's just like, yo, that's when we saw the clip in the earlier thing where the two of them teamed up, and she chose to team up with Lex versus Supergirl. So then we find out every single thing that's happened since then, since Crisis, all that stuff was part of Lex's plan. The guy who was trying to kill, like, first of all, the whole thing with, like, because Kelly and William, like, they were investigating the glitch in the system. Lex created the glitch. He was the one that created the glitch, because Lex purposely wants people to get stuck in Obsidian, because Eve, he ended up, like, Eve Tessmacher ended up getting a job working for Andrea's company. So now that she's the inside woman, Lex's whole thing is he created the glitch on purpose. So because remember earlier where he got Lena. Because remember, like, Lena had sabotaged Obsidian, and then just so Andrea can come to her to fix the problem. So there's a little piece of Luthor tech in the Obsidian glasses. So Lex exploited that, to get people stuck into the virtual reality. The whole reason why he did it was because, he knew that, okay, like, if this glitch is getting people stuck, Andrea is going to try to fix it. He used Eve Tessmacher to block the patch job, so that glitch never got fixed. So then, now that glitch doesn't get fixed, Obsidian's not going to be able to go forward with their plan with that, with this glitch in the Matrix. So he was just like, they're going to come to me and ask me for help, and then that's how I'm going to get a seat at the table. The dude whose wife was virtually cheating on him, the tech guy, Lex used him. Lex rolled up on him in a bar, got him riled up. Lex was behind that guy, glitching the system, which is how Alex got put onto it. The woman who was upset of Obsidian because her husband used to work for them, and then she got mad because her husband got obsessed with it. Lex was behind that. He made the gauntlets that girl used to try to kill Supergirl. They were like, because the whole point of it, Lex was using these people to go after Supergirl, just so he can obtain the bodies, because every single time one of those people went after Supergirl, the girl with the gauntlet, she went after Supergirl, she failed. She was supposed to go to prison, she never made it. Instead, she ended up in the room where that old lady had all those people. The dude, the husband guy, was the same thing. So Lex was like, the girl that Alex met in the virtual reality, her too. So Lex was just piling on these bodies of people who were stuck in virtual reality. And then even Eve Tessmacher, Eve told him that the only reason why she's working for Leviathan is because they threatened to kill her mom. So Lex was just like, all right, I'll protect your mom. All you got to do is just kill this man. And he held up a picture of Alex and Kara's dad. And then he was just like, yo, I want you to put this in his food and poison this dude, because this is the guy who killed your dad. So he got Eve Tessmacher to kill Alex and Kara's dad. And I'm just like, damn, no episode that happened since Crisis is over has been an accident. There haven't been any random filler episodes. Every single episode that's happened has been a Lex Luthor plan. He has his hands on everything, even getting Brainy, to work for him, just so he can get his hands on the Q-Wave technology. So I'm just like, this dude's the man. This dude's really the man. And then he told, he told Eve later on, he was just like, you can't, because he told Eve at one point, because Eve was just like, yeah, she's like, I love you. He was like, bitch, based on what you did to me in the last Earth, he's like, I don't trust you. And then he was just like, I was just using you to get what I wanted, and you can't do anything about it because I got video of you killing Supergirl's daddy. So what do you think's gonna happen when she find out you killed her dad? I was like, damn, checkmate. And then but then the one thing that actually set him off was because that Jeremiah died. Lena ended up going to Kara to offer sympathies, and the two of them actually had a nice moment, which got him upset, because he was just like, the whole plan was for her to not be friends with Supergirl. And then his mom said to him again, she was like, Lex, who cares if Supergirl and Lena are friends? The public thinks they're friends anyway. If the two of them make amends, and he's just like, no, I'm not gonna have coffee with her and have dinner with her. For some reason, he's dead set against Lena being friends with Supergirl. So now he altered his whole plan just to put Lena in a situation where she could be mad at Supergirl. So he told Obsidian, he told the chick from Obsidian to go through with her plan, because Obsidian's plan is they're trying to trap as many people in the virtual reality as they can, and then kill them all while they're connected to the lenses. So Lex's whole thing was he told he told them yo, push up that times table. He was like, I'm going to create a threat that's going to scare everybody into going into virtual reality to escape the threat, and then that's when you can kill everybody. So he got he went to Brainy, and then he told Brainy, he was just like, hey, I found the people who were trapped in the virtual reality. You can use the Q waves to free them from the virtual reality in reverse, but you need Myriad to do that. So then Brainy tells Supergirl, she was just like, she was against it, but she was just like, but she trusted Brainy. So she was like, if you're telling me using Myriad in reverse will save these people, then fine. So she goes to the Fortress of Solitude. She reverses Myriad to try to save the people. Lex then goes to Lena, and he's just like, yo, remember when you and Supergirl got into an argument over you using Myriad? That bitch is using Myriad. And then Lena got mad. She went to Supergirl, and she was just like, how could you use Myriad? And then she was just like, I'm trying to save people. And here's the key thing. When Supergirl told her, she said that I'm using it in reverse to rescue a bunch of people who have been kidnapped by who've been kidnapped and trapped in virtual reality. Lena said, I can think of 5 different ways off the top of my head to free those people other than using Myriad. And Supergirl just dismissed that whole thing, and then she was just like, see, she's just like, she's just like, you just see the Luthor name and all of a sudden we're bad people. She's like, and to think I offered you sympathy. But Lex was smart, because Lex sent Lena to the Fortress of Solitude to go confront Supergirl. But then he also sent an alien, like an invisible alien with Lena, and Lena didn't know. So, and while the two of them were arguing, the alien let another alien out of the cage, because remember, in the Fortress of Solitude, Clark collects, like, space aliens. One of the alien that he let out of the cage was a Sun Eater. So, this monster is responsible for, like this monster could kill the sun. It could drain all the sun's power. So he let that off into the sky. Lena left. Supergirl was just like, yo, we got a bigger problem now. There's a Sun Eater going on. So Jean was like, all right, I'll try to do what I can do. And then when that happened, we got a return from Miss Martian, and I was happy because I like her. Like, she's fine. Like, I like me so much. Like, let's have Miss Martian on the show for the rest of the season. Like, I love some Miss Martian. So she came back. So her and Jean ended up going out into outer space to try to fight the Sun Eater. Supergirl, she put the Lex suit on to protect her, from the sunlight or the rays or whatever, because like the Sun Eater could drain all of her power too. So she goes out in outer space, because all three of them go into outer space to try to stop the Sun Eater. While all this is going on, Lex, because remember the room where William thought all those captured people were? Lex goes to the room, takes all of the people, moves them to a different location. And then he killed the old. Well, there goes my theory, because I thought she was Granny Goodness. There goes my theory about the old lady that was collecting all these people. Lex killed her, had Eve put on an image inducer to pretend to be her, to tell everybody it was her plan all along, to trap these people, and she's gonna kill all these people, this, that, the third. Like, so, Eve did that to set her up. Lex killed her, so obviously she couldn't say anything. And then Lex woke all those people up, and he made it seem as though he was the one who saved them from their captivity. So after they stop the Sun Eater, like Kara and Jean, they go to where Lex is, and then they're just like, wow, like Lex saved all these people, he's a hero. And then Supergirl mad now because Lex even told her, he was just like, yeah, Leviathan trapped all these people, Leviathan sent the Sun Eater out. He was like, that's the same Leviathan I told you was a problem and you didn't want to listen to me. He's like, so now if you're ready to listen to me, we could actually save some lives. And then she was like, we'll handle it. And then Supergirl bounced. Lex is the man. Everybody loves Lex Luthor. He's the hero. He's the hero of the world. And then he told Obsidian, he was just like, yo, move forward with your plan to trap everybody and blow them up. But he was like, but first we got to kill Kara, because he was just like, no matter what plan we do, the supers are always going to interfere, so we got to take care of the supers. So Leviathan now is on a collision course to try to kill Supergirl, thanks to Lex. Lex then, he talks to, that's when he told Eve Tessmacher she ain't shit. And then after that, he was relishing in his victory, and the machine, like the device that he has that transports him from one place to another, he looked at it and it showed that the last location was the Fortress of Solitude. And then he paused for a second because he remembered his mom telling him, cut the obsession, the Kryptonian obsession, stop with the Kryptonian obsession. He thought about it and he's just like, what the hell? He hit the button, he jumped in the portal, he popped in, and now Lex Luthor is in the Fortress of Solitude. And God knows what's going to happen with him in the Fortress of Solitude. It's cool. It's actually cool. So I want to see where it goes. I want to, like Lena and Kara, like they're still on the, but that could be salvaged. Like if the two of them just talk and explain, but they got too much pride for that. Like, I wonder if Alex is going to kill Eve Tessmacher when Alex finds out, because Alex is going to find out that Eve killed her dad. So I wonder if Eve survives this season, but so far, like the mom, like Miss Luthor Senior, she chilling, because she's just like, yo, y'all here set tripping, and we over here running the world. But no, but we'll see. I like Lex Luthor. I never thought I'd say that. Like, he's so good as a character, and for the things that he can do, and for the storylines that you can create. Honestly, he's too big for the show. He's too big for one show. He needs to be a villain spread out throughout the entire DC TV universe. He needs to have his, like I said before, he should be behind the ASA. He should be running the DEO. He should be running the Crows. Hell, he should have a share stake in Star Labs. Like, this dude they need to put him like in this show, because having in this universe, like, because he's too good to just be on one show. But no, but great episode of Supergirl. Great episode of Supergirl. I said I like the Lex isms, and we'll see what happens in the next episode when everybody's coming for Supergirl's ass. So that was it. That was my reviews for Supergirl and Batwoman. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment, like and or subscribe. Check out my other DC videos. Everybody take care. And until next time, I'm out this bitch.